Welcome to the Home Tough Podcast, brought to you by Bet Niger, your home of bet. Boom! If we dey discuss football, if we dey drag people, if we dey talk about tactics and the skills, you know, say na here, na in the conversation day. Before I go further, make I just let you know, say, Bet Niger, they hear people. And they don't come with better betting markets. This one, a new one. Then they call them 1 up. Make I break them down. I know say some people, they're familiar with 2 up, but you are not familiar with 1 up. Quickly, the concept of 2 up now say, if you bet on a team, say then they 2 goes ahead, sharp, you don't win. But they don't make them even better. 1 up. All you need now for that team to just score first. Once the team score first, Bet Niger go pay you. Just think about it. You go select your team's finish as Club World Cup day now. Just select, say, okay, Bayern do it for me, PSG do it for me, Madrid do it for me, Benfica do it for me. Just fold your hand. Even if that the first 5 minutes, then score. Everywhere don't green. Bet Niger go pay you your money. So what are you waiting for? Go to this new betting market and put your money there. Go to my Bet Niger, go run up. 1 up, and boom. Now make I introduce the people when they with me. This now people will be say, when it come to football, then Sabi and when I get familiar faces here, but today we get August visitor. When we say he come out before August, so we must kick out. Let me begin first by my extreme right. This man, when he come to football, he be authority. He dey talk like sugar daddy, you understand? He not they follow you shout, but in the very, very deep, and he gets great wealth of knowledge and football. 100% is Sabiam. Ladies and gentlemen, Oga Pata, make some noise for Ogala!
You know, say, now Arsenal fans, they shout now.
So
our own are soft.
Go deeper, daddy.
Okay, very deep, like 15th position. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to football commentary, this man a legend. When it comes to punditry, the man sabi and well. The only thing about him, like the downside now say, na Arsenal fan. And in temperament, they behave like weather. Today he's happy. Tomorrow, Saka is not world class. The other day, Arsenal will beat Madrid. The other day, Arsenal will win all the trophies. But in the end, he always goes again next season. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only, Ronaldinho on the microphone. Sawadinho!
We'll go again. See, Arsenal will win a minimum of 2 trophies next season.
Yes.
Quote me anywhere.
Quote you anywhere. Your quotes no they work again.
Last season, no green.
All your quotes,
no one work 2 trophies next season.
Exactly, no problem. Remember,
quote me anywhere.
Remember,
yes,
say me and you still there on Ousmane Dembele go win
Ballon d'Or. Yes,
no problem.
I tell you say no go winner. You say go winner.
I say go winner.
Quote me anywhere. Arsenal will win a minimum of 2 trophies next season.
No problem. May God keep us alive.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me clear my throat because this is our visitor now. Somebody when we say we dey proud of. Nigeria is proud to have him. West Africa is proud to have him. Africa is proud to have him. And the world is proud to have him. I've heard of Fergie time. I've heard of Tiki Taka. I've also heard of Wenger philosophy. Ladies and gentlemen, this man, not be the special one, but he's the one. The one and the only. The man who invented the concept of Ijabol, where you attack and you defend, but the goal is to play beautiful football and win. The one and the only, Mr. Daniel Ogunmodede, Ijabol!
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me here.
And make I just point him out saying that the manager of Remo Stars and now the current champion of the Nigeria Professional Football League. So he's a leader.
If not be say my head will come off for frame, we'll forgive a round of applause.
We'll forgive a
you know say he never did close out to person don't win league before.
Exactly. Yes, it's okay.
Where are you referring to?
I hope Tobi will not feel off.
Where are you referring to? Tobi never win league before.
Wait till they talk.
Ikorodu City, yes.
I don't win league with Man U. You don't close out to person win league before Arsenal. Which year?
I don't win league.
Which year?
2004.
Which year?
I don't win.
Which year?
I don't win league.
Which year?
At least I don't see Arsenal league Premier League like 3 times minimum.
You don't get any society where picking when them born for 2004 never they responsible for himself.
He gets some people born for 2004 always see they live for their parents' house.
It don't matter.
It matter.
You don't get any country.
Can we
for the
go
world.
on with this program?
Let me just make this point.
Don't make any point.
Make the points now.
Don't make any point.
It's okay.
Go on with the program.
It's okay. We'll continue. We know say Arsenal. No man.
Go on with the program.
All right, no wahala. Make we just go this break. When we come back, we'll continue the discussion. Remember, 1 up based on Bet Niger. He not get any. In fact, Bet Niger don't start Christmas even before the end of the year. 1 up. Just stake, say this team, then go score first, meaning they will go ahead first. Just one goal. If they like, may they draw. If they like, may they lose. Now only Bet Naija, they run and boom. What are you waiting for? Run and go and play it now. Boom, boom, boom. 1 up.
Get explosive odds at random. Introducing Bet Boom. Get massive odds on any sports bet, however you play. Singles, multiples, in play. Zoom. It's time to boom your bet. Available now, only on Bet Naija.
Welcome to the weekly roundup segment on the Home Turf podcast. This is where we look back and do like a précis of every action that happened in the world of football. I go start with something when we say plenty Manchester United fans no go like. If you read the Bible where you can't go Old Testament, you get what they call Ichabod. The glory has left.
Departed.
Hey! Liam Delap. Then tell her, say, Man U is calling you. The guy say, please block that number.
Ew.
Your correct. They tell her, say, Man U is calling you. The guy say, Man U,
God forbid.
Please, I don't want to hear that name again. And I want to ask, you have 2 strikers who I don't know whether, because people went on the watch board since, if we talk of world-class players, I don't know, we know if we call these 2 people world-class players. But if players like Liam Delap and Gyökeres don't they reject Manchester United, is this the end of Manchester United? Has Manchester United lost all her glory? Has glory departed from Manchester United? Is Manchester United now a dry bone that will never rise again?
I feel like changing your name from Chukwudi to Simon because flesh and blood did not reveal that name Ichabod to you. I think it should be Manchester Ichabod. Because the glory has departed.
Go straight to the point. You don't do.
Okay, but first of all, Gyökeres is the best striker in the world right now, currently. In terms of numbers. I don't care whether you want to say is a Portuguese La Liga, Portuguese Liga or whatever. Nobody has put in the numbers he has put in 2 seasons consecutively. Nobody in Europe's top 5. The only reason why Mbappe is going home with the golden boot is because he plays in a bigger league.
And that's why he's better now.
In terms of a coefficient.
That's why he's better now.
No, but Mbappe in all competitions did not score up to 40 goals.
Okay,
this guy is doing 50 plus goals. I've said it before. This guy is putting in Messi, Ronaldo figures. So you can't expect a player of that magnitude right now. He's 27 going 28, right? You can't expect him to take that downward spiral to Manchester United at this stage of his career. No, it's a very, very terrible downward spiral if he signs to Manchester United. He's supposed to be on an upward trajectory, right? Playing for teams like Arsenal, PSG, and the rest of them, Barcelona. You understand? Arsenal and Man United will be made for now. Let's go on. So, as I was saying,
you can't call Arsenal before you call Madrid, call Barcelona.
Gyökeres turning down Manchester United is not news. They are not at his level at the moment. The lap turning down Manchester United is news because it's coming from Ipswich.
Relegated Ipswich.
Exactly. So that is what Gyökeres turning down Manchester United is not news because Manchester United is not at his level. The lap turning down Manchester United is news. It tells you where Manchester United is at the moment. You understand? Nothing to write home about. You know, they will still struggle to finish top 10 this season. You understand? See, anybody that is signing for Manchester United now is just signing for charity's sake. You understand? It's for charity's sake. People like Matthias Cunha, you know, it's for charity's sake. You understand? Mbeumo will not go to Manchester United. Thomas Frank has just signed for Tottenham Hotspur. Mbeumo will most likely go to Tottenham Hotspur.
They don't give you
Tottenham Hotspur will play in the Champions League. Manchester United will not even play in Inter-Hotspur. You understand? So Mbeumo, where would you rather play? Manchester United or Red House in Inter-Hotspur. So let me.
What else do you want to say? You don't already killed the dead body now.
The glory has departed. Ichabod. Because of that thing you said, I owe you something. At the end of the day, I owe you Salah meat.
Okay,
I owe you. I must give you
everything where you don't promise, not where you don't do.
Ogala, over to you.
No, I mean, don't give away to chop now. So I mean, you can ride on. But I mean, I think the last time I was here, I spoke about this, and I said it is very important that United, win the Europa League. They have to win. They have to be back in Europe for them to command most of these guys. And I mean, football is changing. Most of them want to play in the Champions League. Even if you are not going to win title like Arsenal, they want to play in the Champions League. I mean, you're on the bigger stage.
Take your shot. It's good.
I mean, so you don't want to come to a team that finished 15th.
Yeah.
I mean, they won't be playing in the Champions League. They want to play in the Europa, not even Conference League. You're not even sure of what is going to happen with this team because they had a terrible season. I mean, the previous season. I mean, it's crazy to finish 15th. So, so it's expected that most of these guys will turn United down. Like a reason why I kept on. I mean, I've been top critics of Amorim because you have to win. You have to win the Europa League and go back to Europe, and then you can command these guys, convince them maybe with United history.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't come. I mean, United still give you an hope of winning titles, not like Arsenal. Arsenal can sign most of these boys; they will still try again.
Remo Stars have a better chance of winning trophy than in
Wait, now he allow you talk now.
Than Arsenal. But to be honest, I mean, they're just paying for what they fail to do right.
All right,
and it's very painful.
All right, Kochi, I want you to get into Amorim's head now. Because if you're a manager and you're saying, I want to sign this player, I would like to sign this player, and then you have players saying, I don't want to come this club. What do you think will be going on in Amorim's mind now, looking at it from the perspective of a manager?
Honestly, is imagine I try to put myself in his shoe.
Yes.
And it's quite disheartening the stage where Man United is presently. Remo Stars has been in this position before. Imagine you are in the league, you're not playing in the Champions League, you're not playing the CAF Cup, and you are trying to convince a player that just finished playing in the Champions League to come. Yeah. It's difficult. It's extremely difficult. Okay. So it will take you. It's going to go up a lot of your energy trying to convince him, like flogging a dead horse, because eventually he won't.
But the good thing is that
a striker that scored 50 goals will never want to come to Man U.
Ijabol, the good thing is that there's a solution. Because you used Remo Stars as an example, and today you are a champion. So Ruben Amorim, if you know what is good for you, call Baba now. Call him. Make him tell you what it, because Remo Stars win.
No, be Amorim. Arteta needs to call out to win the league title.
Arteta no
Can
need
you
to
calm
wait.
down?
Arteta needs to call
second.
You don't win league.
Arteta finished
You
second.
don't win league.
Oh, yeah,
Arteta finished second.
You don't win league.
The amount of money Arteta will receive
Collect the Jabot number. Send Arteta. Me now do conference call.
Okay, but you too, Seth, you need to collect the Jabot number.
Give Arteta.
No,
Arteta needs to
we're
call.
in discussion.
At least let people know what it feels.
We're already in discussion.
What it feels
you
like
don't know
to win.
Jabot is a fan.
It doesn't matter.
This UK way go a branch for Emirates Stadium.
No problem now. Oh yeah, so let's move on now. Now let's look at numbers.
Yeah.
It good says our stats like that. You have Gyökeres, you have Victor Osimhen, you have Benjamin Sesko. But it appears like these three guys, when we say, if we go by their numbers and the position when they play, now their names suppose they're top three for the market.
Yeah.
Nobody's really talking about them. What do you think the problem is?
Are people not talking about them? I think people are talking about them, but the financial implications with all of these players is something that is making
their
this
sign-on fee or the wages.
It's either okay. For instance, last week it was much publicized. Gyökeres had an open, disagreement with Sporting Lisbon and his agent. You understand? Because it seemed like what was agreed before now, that the guy would be allowed to leave if a club matches, was it 60 million plus 10 million, you understand, which is about 70 million, which is like the total package we understand that Arsenal is putting on the table right now, that the guy will be allowed to leave. And it seems like Sporting Lisbon is reneging on that gentleman's agreement. You understand? So that is a stumbling block. Clubs have learned their lesson from deals in recent past. You understand? Some 2-3 years ago, 100 million was like, any club could just splash it. Declan Rice, Caicedo, Jack Grealish, and the rest of them. But right now, clubs are looking at, okay, these clubs that splash this 100 million and
they get value?
Did they get return, on that value placed on the players? You understand? So they are now being a little bit laid back, to want to splash the cash. You understand? So Gyökeres, is it worth that amount of money? If you ask me, I would say yes. In comparison to players that we've seen command huge transfer fees, you understand? Right now, I would say yes. Benjamin Sesko, he's 21. Whether we like it or not, he's a gamble. Benjamin Sesko, because of his age, he's 21. He's a gamble. He could work. He could not work. He may not work as well. You understand? So would you want to splash as much as £90 million on Benjamin Sesko at 21? I mean, Chelsea tried it with Mikhailo Mudryk. How did that turn out? We're not even talking about the drug scandal and all of that. How did the 90-something million turn out for Mikhailo Mudryk?
There's still room for improvement.
There is still room.
Just like how Arsenal should give Raheem Sterling more room.
Arsenal did 72 million for Pepe. How did that turn out? Do you understand? So that is why clubs are being a little bit held back. Now, for Victor Osimhen, we know that, I mean, a lot have been said about his wage demands. You understand? Whether it's 250 net or it's 300 net or 400 gross, whatever, you know, around that. The most important thing is that many of these clubs are beginning to look out their pockets and what they can afford and not upsetting the structure internally. The wage structure internally. Because if I go and get a player now, and all of a sudden, I'm giving that player £400,000 or £300,000. And nobody in my team is earning £300,000. And that player comes and maybe he's not delivering. Before you know it, everybody internally will say, if you can pay this guy 300, why not pay me 300 or 350 or 400? And that time, I couldn't disrupt the internal structure. Alexis Sanchez to Manchester United, classical example. You understand? I would have disrupted the internal payment structure and then it would not all go well for the entire team. So I don't think these teams are not... I mean, if you listen to fans of this club, if you listen to Ru Ferdinand on his podcast, he keeps mentioning the name Victor Osimhen, Victor Osimhen, Victor Osimhen. If you listen to Mikel Obi on his podcast, he's mentioning Victor Osimhen, Victor Osimhen, Victor Osimhen. So why are these clubs reluctant? You understand? They are beginning to look at, okay, what we spend and what we generate, there should be a balance to this thing. You understand? But I think at the end of this window, all these three players would move. All the destination is what I don't know, but all these three players that we've mentioned, Sesko, Victor Osimhen, and Benjamin and Victor Gyökeres, they will all move.
It's interesting that, you know, you have done this analysis, and I think we should just proceed. And I would go to, you know, the red side.
I know that's not afforded of the three guys, so
of course. Now talk
time will tell.
Move on,
if Gyökeres will be Arsenal player by September, then let's have this conversation again.
You don't
by August, Seth.
You don't want us to quote you anywhere.
No, I'm not saying quote. Let's have this conversation
all right,
again.
No problem. Now let's talk about a player that has moved.
Yep.
The talk just go. He be like, say, calm down. Next thing, Liverpool don't do the deal. Florian Wirtz now. He's moved to Liverpool 116 million euros. In fact, just they go down and say over £300,000. Now the guy go to earn weekly. I won't make you address this one, Oganla, but still link him to Victor Osimhen. Yep. Because Sawa did, you know, a lot by saying they don't want to upset wage structure, they don't want to do that. But if you agree that this striker is top 3 in the world right now, why are you not willing to break the bank to pay the player what he's demanding for?
When Sawa they talk, the problem of these transfers are the clubs. I mean, they started breaking banks, you know, throw these pounds, euros,
Barcelona,
you know, everywhere. Then even some player that doesn't want some wage structure, some transfer fee, they got them. So I mean, you will not now expect people like Osimhen to not drop the balls. Osimhen is closing like $1 million in a month, 12 million in a year. I mean, he has been living in this life. He has been living around these wages. I've seen people make opinion and say, "Oh, he needs to compromise." Yes, I mean, at some point he will compromise, but if he's compromising, you know, the club structure, it's very important as well. I mean, you said Ferdinand United, am I going to win titles here? If I go to Arsenal, am I going to win titles? I mean, if I compromise on my wages, about 12 million in a year, and then he has to compromise for a bigger structure of the club. So, I mean, it's still the same club. I mean, Liverpool spending much of this on this guy. I mean, the guy is good. I mean, he's got numbers and attacking midfielder. I mean, he's doing great assists, a lot of goals. He's going to add quality to the team. But if you're doing over 100 for him, I tell him you can't do, you know, as much of this for these strikers who can command us 30, 40 goals in a year, you know, competition for you. So it depends on the clubs. I agree with Sawa. I mean, clubs are also being careful as well. It's very important that you also protect your wage structure in the club. If you bring most of these guys in and you break the wage structure, every other people that wants to get a renewal will start looking at that level, because especially for those also, you know, bringing result, bringing performance, adding quality to the team. We also add for the big, you know, wages if you can pay these new guys. But at the end of the day, I think it depends on what these clubs want to. Osimhen 26. I mean, the guy in Portugal, late 20s as well. These guys are in their mid 20s. 2, 3, 4 years, can we do a deal? We take them to Madrid and get this money back. So there's a lot of things you need to think around them.
Resale value.
The business side, how many of these jerseys they're going to sell, but everybody knows that people like Osimhen is as big as, commanding most of these figures. I've seen argument everywhere. But you look at what he has done with Galatasaray. You look at the numbers. Numbers has increased. He has done it. He did it with Napoli when he was at Lille. A lot of people started following the friendly because of him. The same thing at Napoli. The same thing at Gala now. If Osimhen moved to United, moved to any club in Europe, Italy, anywhere, the fans will be there. He has the numbers. So it is proving that this guy can bring the numbers, can bring the business, and he can also deliver on the pitch. So I think clubs not trying to pay as much as the 12 million for Osimhen is not fair.
Kochi, let's look at this guy that has made this move now. In family members go they happy, but it be like say pressure don't they now, because if you earn that much for a club like Liverpool, they would expect a lot. But Kochi, and I know say you as a Kochi, you get the way you go take answer questions. But do you think that he is worth that amount?
For me, with what the boy has done in
Germany,
with Bayer Leverkusen. It's not the first year, it's not the second year. He has done it twice now, obviously. That is so much obvious to, visible to the eyes. So, and in such developed countries, they believe in what you can do repeatedly, consistently, and hope of doing more.
Okay.
The question is, has he done it repeatedly? Yes. He has done it for 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
Very creative, dynamic. He brought a lot of dynamism in the midfield. He's a lot of utility player, and Liverpool system of play for the coach requires a player that is flexible with positional play in the midfield. Okay. Secondly, does he have a future? The answer is yes. So the money is not, when you talk about the issue of Osimhen, for example, if you say clubs are afraid of raising the bar, they don't care. They don't care. If we have another player that will do the same thing Osimhen did this season, next season, no, nobody cares. The investor up there doesn't care. If we have another striker next year that scored 50 goals, they will break the bank for him. Just like what Madrid do sometimes ago. Benzema is good, they bring him. Ronaldo, De Lima, they bring him with everything they have. So Osimhen is doing it now. They should bring him. He has done unimaginable thing consistently too. He did it with Napoli. It's not. He showed in Galatasaray.
I was checking. He did. Was it 20 goals in? Was in Belgium or he did like 18, 20.
Before he came to Napoli, he hadn't done 20 goals a season.
No, he did
in the league.
He did in all competition.
In all competition.
Yeah, in all competition. If you do 20, alone. Yes, I think Lille and Belgium, he did about almost 40 goals.
Most obviously, that in the Napoli, and now with Galatasaray, my friend. For me, even if Madrid should break the bank for him, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's as simple as that. He's a striker. Has he done his job? Yes, he has. I read a lot of comment about maybe it's his attitude, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Well, in my coaching journey, I was taught about man management.
Okay.
And these whites are the ones that preach man management. Most. Balotelli has greater problem.
Okay.
And yet Man City bought him in an exaggerating price. Now, why not Osimhen? They should go for him. Okay. And I can tell you, any team that actually wants to get a lot of goal next season, this coming season, should go for Osimhen.
Okay.
And I would advise Arsenal.
Okay, that's
it's one of my advice for
all
you.
Right.
Based on our discussion before.
I'll take that other advice.
All right, so let's still stay with Victor Osimhen. I want us to just conclude this conversation. And I want us to take off our cap, our filler, as his brothers. And let's be analytical in our, discussion now. People have said, make compromise. People have said, you just do it like this, do it like that. And I want us to be very brutal or brutally honest here now. If we ask Osimhen to make compromise, what are we looking at? Then number one. Then number two, this money when Osimhen, they really ask for self. Which club go fee pay Osimhen that money now? Because it's also important to look at the club too. Even this Arsenal, when they say we are putting 70 million on the table, this, that, we know say if he get the place where the wage go reach, they go begin the kun. Like Ronaldo.
No, I think the problem is not leaving the transfer fee. Napoli 70-80, all right? 70-80 transfer fee.
Yeah. Napoli is even willing to lower because Conte has made it very clear that he's not in his plans.
Yeah, I mean, he left now.
Yeah,
so,
he left. So Napoli is willing to lower.
I think any top club in Europe can afford it.
I think the problem, the problem is just the wages.
If Liverpool will afford 116 million for a midfielder, what happened?
What are you saying? See, it's just the fact that I think on previous edition on this podcast, Sawa used very, some interesting words on why Osimhen has not been signed. I don't like getting into that conversation about our skin, about our this thing. I think Osimhen has been disrespected. We've said this over the time. I mean, if you're doing this kind of performance, like you said, in coaching, is it consistent? Has he done it several times? Yes. On the big stage, has he done it? Napoli, the Scudetto, the historic Scudetto, Galatasaray, double with the goals. I mean, so
for me, if he compromise, I will be disappointed.
No, he might. He might. He's doing.
You say if he compromises,
he
should stand on his
integrity. Now, Coach, taking you on that, there are smarter ways.
Because he deserves it.
There are smarter ways to go about contract negotiations.
Tell me, please.
Now, I would bring it down to Osimhen's vision for himself, right? What does Osimhen want, first of all? Now, if Osimhen wants to get back to Europe's top 5, play in one of the big sides, and then the only way is for him to compromise. We have just established something here that Osimhen has delivered consistently, right? Over 2 seasons. Meaning delivering will not be a problem. Coach literally said anything that wants goals should go for Osimhen, right? So if he is that confident, if you are that confident that Shebi, you want 30 plus goals in a season, I can do it, no problem. For this season, in my negotiation, you said you cannot hit the 250 cap, right? All right, no problem. I will come down to 200. But if I give you 30 plus goals this season, immediately from the next season, this is what I will start earning.
Sawa, the problem is that...
No. It's contract negotiation, right?
I understand your point. Sawa, even with this 250, Osimhen had add-ons.
I get that. I'm just saying, we're talking about compromise. I'm trying to take on compromise, right? He can compromise on that ground that, okay, you know what?
That's fair enough.
I am sure I can give you 30 plus goals. And if I give you 30 plus goals this season in all comps, from next season, I will move from this 200 or 150 that I'm going to accept to you just to move. I will move from it to 300 or thereabout. I mean, we heard stories of Kevin De Bruyne negotiating his own contract with Manchester City when he was hot, when he hit his peak. You understand? We don't know how confirmed that story is, but we heard stories of him negotiating his own deal with them before he became arguably the highest paid in Manchester City, right? If Osimhen does that, that's why I've heard arguments, and I think that Osimhen needs to have a very good team, that can negotiate. I don't know who his agent is and all of that. And make these negotiations and say, no problem. You say you can't pay the 250, no problem. We can bring it down to 200. We can bring it down to 180. But there are these clauses that we insert here, there, and there. Example, if I give you 30 plus goals, no player in Arsenal since Aubameyang has done 30 plus goals. No player has done 20 league goals in Arsenal since Aubameyang.
Why did they mention Arsenal?
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about bringing Arsenal to the Osimhen table now.
Enough.
No player in Arsenal has done 20 goals in the league since Aubameyang left. So Osimhen comes now and says, okay, if I give you 20 goals, Arsenal, I give you 20 league goals or 25 league goals this season, I will move from this 180 I'm accepting or 200 I'm accepting to 300. If you agree, let's sign the deal. And if you fail to honor that, you pay me that 300.
All right.
You understand? So there are smarter ways to go about this contract. Talking about if he is worth it, come on. I mean, we've seen players. Felipe Coutinho moved to Barcelona for how much? Ousmane Dembele moved to Barcelona for how much?
You know why why we are still discussing this issue? It's because Osimhen came when we have a Benzema doing well in Madrid. We have this guy in Man City doing. We have a lot of strikers still doing well in top clubs.
Yeah.
If not, imagine it's a time where a Madrid is seriously searching for a striker. They will get him for 500.
Okay.
With what he has done.
Okay. Interesting. So let's talk about a manager that, some people have come out to say his legacy will soon be eroded. And I'm talking of Pep Guardiola. from tiki-taka to checkbook manager. Between January and maybe the end of this transfer window, Man City would have spent around £400 million. Around £400 million. And people are saying, Guardiola, we think say now you sabi everything. But it be like say fear don't they catch you now. Without money, you are nothing. Without running to your chalugu to say Odogu banana, they can't give you check. It be like say nothing. Me I start with Kochi. I know say that the dream of every manager to get Babolo when we say if you tell and say I need this player, Baba go say go and get him. Go and get that player. But does it get to a point where it becomes too much and you begin to say your legacy, people no go remember you for the things where you do because you just they buy like saying Avengers you they assemble.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Guardiola is an exceptional manager, exceptional coach, and his philosophy requires intelligent player that only him can define. Only him. Apart from his early days in Barcelona, he has not dealt with unknown players. He go for the best because his philosophy requires high level of intelligence, and to interpret his philosophy. So, apart from his early days in Barcelona, and his early days in Barcelona, he has got young quality players. When Messi was coming to his prime, Xavi, Iniesta, young intelligent players. So for me, that's his way, and you need to know that for him. That's the way, and he's lucky to always fall in a place where they accept what he brings. And is bringing results for him. Apart from this season that he has failed, for me, I say woefully.
Ogala.
I mean, good talk from the coach to defend Pep, but I think most of this transfer are overboard. I mean, it's done about 6-7 players signing for since he joined Man City. Yes, not all of them are big money, over £2 billion, if not more. And then you still want to call him the magician, the Pep. Yes, I understand. I agree. I mean, to get this intelligence.
Like this is the only season where they failed to splash the cash, and then they failed.
And he failed, you know. So and then the squad is aging. He could not bring boys from. I mean, in the early days, like mentioned, guys came from the youth team. You can still do that with Man City, and then you're still breaking the banks. I mean, my banter with Pep is I feel like Pep spent too much. As much as I want to respect him for all he has done, but it doesn't equate to the almighty status that people put him because of the kind of money that he pushes us on, or the kind of transfers and how much he has spent. Yes, I mean, he's been lucky with this guy that can spend this money. And then this comes to the question of the fact that imagine if Pep Guardiola dropped to an Arsenal where they can, buy these big boys for you. Are you still going to win these titles? Are you still going to do well as much as you win at Man City? So it means that, I mean, with due respect for everything Man City has done, at the end of the day, we're saying the money backs is the key element. Which, yes, is the football thing, but I think it gets too much. For me, I think like Pep spent too much, and I think it gets too much, and it makes me not to really, put me on a high scale. But like I just said, if you drop Pep to an Arsenal, to Man United, I may not be able to do a 400 million within 6 months. Are you going to win these titles?
So I just imagine Arteta get that 400 million euros.
They go,
where una for day now?
Well, the truth is that Arteta is not Pep. Arteta would invest that 400 million euros in gamble. That is the difference. That's the difference between Arteta and
go
Pep.
sign player,
Pep will sign Haaland.
Immediately.
Pep will sign Sergio Aguero. Proven players. Arteta will sign
Kai Havertz.
Tobi.
Something.
Gamble. You understand? That's the difference between Pep and Arteta, right? I mean, it's obvious now that Gyökeres is what Arsenal needs, but Arteta would rather gamble on Šeško.
Yes,
you understand? So that's the difference between Pep and Arteta. Because of his first few years at Barcelona, that's the only reason why I may not give him that excuse of checkbook manager. He spends a lot, no doubt. You understand? But this was the same guy that came to Barcelona and told players like Ronaldinho, Deco, and Samuel Eto'o, I don't need you.
Baba, that
These
time
guys,
they don't come up for their prime now.
But then Eto'o went to Inter. Eto'o gave him one more season, still went to Inter Milan and did it again.
Yes, but they don't come up for their prime.
Apart from that, the basic
for their prime.
was to have authority.
Yes,
now there's a lot of things behind those movements.
But at the time, what I'm saying what I'm saying is that at the time he didn't really splash the cash, right? Okay, he brought in player. Was it the one that brought in Sedu Keita? You know, and
exactly.
and Dani Alves. And Dani Alves, I think from Sevilla as well, and all of that.
He signed some few players.
He signed a couple players as well, and then he's the one that splashed the cash for Zlatan Ibrahimovic when he swapped Eto'o to Inter Milan and all of that. You know, yes, checkbook manager and all that. But what coach said is, I mean, what I want everyone to take out of it is that Pep Guardiola is a fantastic manager. Whether some people argue that his philosophy is ruining football or not, you know, I mean, I've literally seen some skits. I've really seen some skits. For instance, the Czechie deal, right? We know Czechie is a fantastic dribbler, right? So I've seen some skits recently, mocking the Czechie move to Manchester City, that this is the kind of player he would become. If he tries to dribble a player one-on-one, Pep Guardiola will run into the field and be like, "We don't do that here. Pass the ball. I move." Do you understand? And what does that do to the player? It kills the player. I saw an interview of Ronaldinho on JJ Okocha. He said he didn't understand why JJ Okocha went to England when he went to England. That he would have been a much more better in Spain or any other place where he's allowed to do all of those his box of tricks than English football. English football is too regimented for him, and that's part of the reasons why he never played in England. Do you understand? So Pep might just regiment the player. You understand? So some people argue that his philosophy is killing football and all of that, but then we won't take it away from him. The man has revolutionized football entirely. But with the checkbook manager argument, yes, I agree.
With
the
money
checkbook manager argument is still very valid.
Yes.
It's still very valid because, I mean, the guy splashes the cash. But come to think of it, how much did he sign Haaland for?
All right, let me stay with you as the Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
People are signing. What is Arsenal doing? What is exactly Arsenal's plan this season? I know you don't have Arteta's phone number, but let me quote you.
I collected it from a fan.
So what is exactly Arsenal's plan this transfer?
You know, we have Teju Show Market, we have Aswani.
Aswani is every Tuesday.
Teju Show is every day, right?
Day.
And we also have, what's this night market name? We also have night market. Arsenal likes night market a lot. we like night market. But then on a more serious... On a more serious note, every Arsenal fan is frustrated. Sincerely, to be very frank.
You are frustrated?
Yes, every Arsenal fan is frustrated with the whole transfer saga.
Sorry.
Get this thing over the line. Because I've said it, I really want all of them to be available for pre-season. I don't want us dragging these things
so that they can gel.
Let them just start at least, let everybody be settled that, okay, next season, XYZ players are playing for Arsenal. If you want to get Zubimendi, do you know when we started hearing about Zubimendi? Shortly after January, we started hearing Zubimendi. Today, that deal is not done. We don't believe that the deal will be done, Zubimendi, but the deal is not done till today. Gyökeres, Šeško, whoever it is, majority of Arsenal fans want Gyökeres because we want instant result, instant impact. But till today, no one done they settled. And if Madrid pop up one day now out of the blues and say, okay, we need a backup from Mbappe and we want Gyökeres as the backup, the guy will run to Madrid.
True. Everybody will.
Everybody will run. You understand? So
and speak
get
Spanish.
This deal over and speak Spanish. Fluent one. Very fluent Spanish.
Sharp.
Get this deal over the line. Nico Williams today. You want to activate the buyout clause, or you don't want to get the deal done. Whoever you want, Rodrigo. Every player is linked to Arsenal. Just get the deal done. It is a good thing that they have a new footballing director in Berta, and Berta is not in bed with Arteta like Edu used to be in bed with Arteta. And I'm not saying that literally. Don't go and quote me now and say. But what I mean by being in bed with Arteta is like, it's like Arteta and Edu is just stamp and seal. If Arteta wants this player, Edu says, is this player I want? Okay, stamp, let's get it. You understand? So Berta looks like he's a man that wants something for Arsenal.
All right, we wish
let us just get the deal.
Yeah, go and get the deal. You people should go and get the deal.
God will help us.
Let me start with you now.
Okay.
Every manager wants the best player in their squad.
Of course.
Let's talk about perhaps, one of the greatest to ever do it in the history of football, Cristiano Ronaldo. At 41, some people are saying the only reason why this guy will enter inside any team na quota system, or they just need him for motivation. But every time he steps on the pitch, he silences his critics. I would like to ask you, do you think that Cristiano Ronaldo has justified his inclusion in that Portuguese squad, especially for 2026 World Cup?
100%. 100%.
Because he's Cristiano Ronaldo or because of what he's doing?
Okay, I tried to tell you a short story.
Okay.
Thank God Tobi is here. During the CHAN qualifier, I invited Rabiu Ali.
Okay.
He's in Kano Pillar. And I think he's
over 40.
Over 40.
Yeah.
And he's the only midfielder in the last 5 years that has scored consistently over 10 goals.
The double figures, yeah.
Every season.
In the last 5 years?
Yes, in the last 5 seasons. I want to be very precise. That was why I said 5 seasons.
Yeah.
So, and you expect me not to invite me. This is, we are talking about the national team. It's not a youth development program. It's performance coaching. That is the level they are. If you are good enough, you are old enough.
If you are good enough, you are old enough.
You are old enough. If you are old enough, you should be good enough. So, and that is what Ronaldo has done. Rabiu Ali, this season is the second highest goal scorer.
I don't want to pick on you, Rabiu, because we disagree on the invitation.
Of course.
And the question was that when Rabiu came,
Were there better players?
No. I agree with the numbers.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
How do you judge?
But remember, Rabiu Ali is Kano Pillar's first choice set piece taker.
No,
Yes, it doesn't matter.
Sawa. To be honest,
There are a lot of players that are set piece taker and has never scored.
No.
Okay.
To be honest,
what I'm saying,
yeah.
How do you judge? Is it better enough? I am with Remo Stars.
Yeah.
I can only assess him with records.
Okay.
And watch him once in a while.
Okay.
Record speaks in football.
Okay.
How many games of Ronaldo have you watched this season?
Not many.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you did you see the records?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, how many games of Gyökeres that we're talking about now have you watched this season?
Not many, but almost all.
But you see the records. You talk from the records.
Yeah.
So how do you judge? How do you know Gyökeres is better than other centre forward in that they were playing together in
highlights?
In Sporting?
The
Sporting.
difference is that we have the privilege of seeing a lot of his highlights.
Do you know there could be a striker people are agitating for in that club that is better than Gyökeres? That they feel like, I think this striker is better if given the same chance and opportunity that the guy is given. This is how football is. Look, we are coaches. Yeah. I am a coach. I am not a football fan. Yeah. I am not a pundit.
So you're not a supporter of Remo Stars?
I am number one supporter of Remo Stars.
Okay, that's all you meant. I think I won't catch up.
Ronaldo showed it in his club that he can. The coach has trust in him.
Okay.
He gave him the chance.
Yeah.
So, and he has proved his doubt are wrong.
Okay.
For me. And mind you, Ronaldo, regardless of how you see it, I'm not sorry to say this, is a dividend of hard work.
Yeah. He's one of the fittest players around.
Okay.
At his
So
age.
this guy work relentlessly. Fortunately, I have coached in Portugal before. Portuguese are advanced breed of black men, Nigerian. Okay. Strong, good physique, has similar food like us. And Ronaldo is taking advantage of it. Okay. Ronaldo take advantage of it. He's old enough that he does what any young player would do. What any young player would do. He's a leader. He tried to carry the team on his shoulder. What do you want? A coach wants things that will be easy for them. Okay. And I think Ronaldo provide a lot of this. And I think he deserves to be in the team.
Tobi catch him as you want catch him.
Where I want to go now? On Rabiu.
So long as you can link it to Cristiano Ronaldo.
That reference I want to catch, but maybe not really catch. But the thing about Ronaldo is, and I think I have it also on several players. But I think the good thing for Ronaldo, like you mentioned, Ronaldo is still playing at club side. Whether it's in Saudi Arabia, he still plays, he still get the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on 30 plus this season.
35 goals.
So it's difficult. But where I had issue with Ronaldo is the fact that the minutes in Portugal should not be as much as getting.
I agree with you.
So I think the minute is.
I agree with you.
I mean, maybe they overplay him at time. But on Rabiu Ali, for Ronaldo is playing in Portugal. On Rabiu Ali answer, why you now no complain for Chan?
Okay, very good.
He not even play.
He not give a minute for the 2 games.
That's exactly.
Okay, he entered for UAB after they win 3-0.
That's exactly where I am going now.
Okay.
Yes. The time he's supposed to play in Portugal should not have been so many as that.
Yeah.
That is the judgment for the coach.
But if the coach had substituted him early, he wouldn't have scored.
Oh, Ronaldo.
Yes,
no, not in those games. In most of the games.
Yes,
Sometimes Ronaldo is not in the game and you're just leaving him there.
The thing is very good. The thing is, you care so much. People care so much about Ronaldo well-being than himself. He know how much his body can carry it. Look at what happened in his last game. He came out by himself. He knew he cannot go on. He know. He's a thorough professional. For me, he's the best professional so far in the game. Since I know what football is called.
To do for the one, it's not a joke.
For me.
A joke, yeah.
So he knows when to say no. He knows when to say yes. Now for Rabiu Ali, I am the coach.
Okay. I am the journalist.
And we train. You are the journalist. How many times are you in our training?
Now they give a VIP access
in all of the time that we played both in Ghana and in Nigeria, you were just in our training session maybe once, just once.
Why you not play Rabiu Ali?
Because there are more fitter people than him.
So why did he invite him?
That were invited.
So why did he
invited because of his figures. I agree with him.
He was not the only one that was invited, my friend.
Figures. Okay.
No.
I have an issue. I have an issue with Rabiu I have a go-to reference when we're talking about this Ronaldo thing. Roger Milla is the oldest World Cup goal scorer till today because he was given a chance by Cameroon. He scored a World Cup goal against, was it Russia, at 42. You understand? So
Ronaldo is not just about. Ronaldo is not about giving chance.
No,
mind you.
I get it.
Ronaldo
Ronaldo has better figures than most of the younger strikers in Portugal.
Okay,
for the year.
Now you're talking.
You understand?
He's not about chance.
He did 35 in all competitions, whether it is Saudi Arabia and all of that.
All right.
Okay.
He's Ronaldo, by the way.
All right.
He's
So
Ronaldo.
In all of it, Ronaldo deserves to be there.
All right. So Ronaldo on the one hand, let's talk about a Nigerian player and our brother Victor Boniface. He's obviously not Ronaldo. Victor Boniface. There was a post he shared. Hinting at hanging his boots and retiring from the game. A lot of people told him, just hang that boot, not even know where the boot is.
No go carry him back.
Ogala, you were really very.
He was one that jumped first.
Supportive of him.
Jump first to lean a shoulder. He's my shoulder. You carrying on me.
So let's just talk about it.
I mean, yes, we are journalists, and right now we are into administration, and then it's giving different perspective about these players. If you're closer to them, you hear from them, you feel their pulse. The way you criticize them will be different. I think if people notice the way I criticize players change.
So I think you should come close to coaches too.
Yes, I'm close to coaches. I'm close to football.
Yeah. So the way you criticize the coaches too, you need to feel their blood.
It's still the same. It's still the same. So I think for reason why I did that thing is if you meet Boniface 1-on-1 and you discuss this issue of not scoring goals, not good performance in the Super Eagles, I mean you will feel like maybe sharing tears with him as well. I mean, these guys really feel the pain. Bad result. This guy doesn't take it easy on themselves. They are very hard on themselves. The reason why I said in that tweet or in that post is the fact that, self-criticism of these players is the most hardest thing they do. And I think he felt the pain. I mean, I played 13 games, no goal. The one he scored was later cancelled or something.
I think he scored against Saudi Arabia.
I think it was ruled out for an own goal or something. There's a bit of controversy on that goal. No, there's a bit of controversy on that goal.
Okay.
There's a bit of controversy on that goal. Okay. I mean, even if you count that for him, people want to see him replicate what he has done at Leverkusen. Even when it was in form. I feel like we are being too. The criticism was just too much. In as much as Boniface had his own problems, and the problem is the social media, the social media image. I mean, he has created an image which really worked for him. He wants to build in the face of, I'm a free guy. I mean, I joke a lot. People are now switching that image to something else. Because, I mean, even in training, if he's working out, people feel like he's joking. Even if he's putting effort during matches, people are feeling like it's joking.
All right.
Wait, first of all.
60 seconds. 60 seconds.
That was an expensive
55
joke.
seconds.
If it was a joke, it was an expensive
very, very
joke.
50 seconds.
Very expensive
very,
joke.
very
It was a joke. You should never do that. Let's call a spade a spade. You can't come out and say, "Oh, Niger, thank you for the memories, blah blah blah. I don't hang it and all of that," and delete it a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes afterwards, and then after people like Tobi have come out to tell everybody to take it easy. No, that was an expensive joke, and that's the reason why people may not take you seriously.
Absolutely.
Because today they are seeing you with Pella, tomorrow they are seeing you with another skit maker, whether boy or girl and all of that, and then you're dropping soft.
They don't get life off season.
No, I'm not saying you don't have life. No, I'm not saying you don't have life. You have a life, but then let's know where to be professional when we need to be professional.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you about the post.
It was an expensive joke, right?
No, I agree with you about the post, but meeting Pella or anybody
I am not saying you should not. Don't quote me out of context, please. I'm not saying you should not. You understand? That's why I'm saying if that was a joke, because you just said something that Boniface has gotten to that point where if they work out for training, if he's saying a joke in a joke.
Yes,
you understand? Yes. So we need to draw the line when you are being professional and when you're being your normal person that you want to be free to socialize and do whatever you want to do with Pella and the rest of them. You understand? But you can't pull off such prank on the whole nation. It's not just disrespectful. It is not needed. It's highly disrespectful. If that was not really what you wanted to do, you just wanted to pull legs, then it's very disrespectful and not a needed joke. Considering the fact that your performances have not been good, for the Super Eagles especially, it's not been good. You can't pull off such pranks. You understand? That is why, just like you said, some people will be like, okay, if you want to hang that boot very well. You understand? And we should stop making it seem as if we hate Boniface. We all need one thing: for the Super Eagles to succeed. Before we came online, I was bantering with Koche inside about qualification for World Cup. Do I want the Super Eagles to be at the World Cup? Hell yeah! I want the Super Eagles to be at the World Cup.
It could benefit all of us.
It could benefit everybody. So nobody hates Boniface. Nobody hates Chukwueze or whoever. But at the end of the day, we want what is best for the Super Eagles. And they go pay me, say Boniface scored 14 goals last season or 2 seasons ago for Bundesliga. And he never fit score one. For Super Eagles. You understand? You score a 107. You never score one for Super Eagles. And then you're putting off such prank on us.
All right, sorry.
No, now don't do that again.
It's okay.
Don't do that. We don't want you to retire yet, though. Even though I know say you don't get place for starting 11 for Super Eagles right now, and even for bench. You understand? But don't pull off such prank. If you don't say you want resign, no problem.
All right, forgive him.
No, he's forgiving. I don't even get any issues against him.
You have the last word on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing is, these guys are professional.
Yeah.
One, you agree with me?
Yeah, totally.
Number two, they are human
beings as well.
Number three, they have blood flowing in their veins. I was opportune to be in the game.
Yeah. The Russia game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, every one of them have one thing or the other to cool their nerves after games. Okay. Most especially when things doesn't go too good for them.
Coach, sorry, let me just interject and ask you this question. Did you see the tweet immediately he made it?
Well, I'm not opportune to see the tweet at all. I am not opportune because I
wanted to know if you guys reacted to it when he made it.
Just listen.
Okay.
That's where I'm trying to go.
Okay.
Now, I will say, I can tell you categorically that it could be the usage of word, but that is not what Boniface means.
Okay.
He is not happy he didn't score in that game.
Yeah.
He was angry with himself.
Okay.
Look, I tell you, the game against Zimbabwe, we spent 4 hours in the dressing room.
After the game?
After the game.
Okay.
And you know with who? With Osimhen. In anger.
Okay.
They also feel bad when things doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. They feel bad. People think because they have their personal life, they don't care. No. When it's time for work, they try to give in everything too. And when it doesn't go well, they are not happy.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I am an assistant coach with the Super Eagles.
Yeah.
After the game, Boniface was not happy with himself. And for him, mostly where he had fun is there.
Online.
So it's just his usage of word.
Okay.
For me. And I'm very sure, it was his teammates that saw and were like, look, something is going on. Me, I just do my thing, make I just stay cool down, because he was seriously angry with himself in the game. He didn't do badly in that game. He only did not score as a striker.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
For me, sometimes we need to take it a little bit. We are all passionate about the country.
Yeah.
We want the super, like you said before we came into this program.
Yeah.
We want, as a coach, I don't want to go to World Cup. I want to.
Yeah.
These players, if 80% of them, if they miss this World Cup,
They
it's
might
their
not
last
be
World Cup.
yeah.
So they want to be there too.
All right.
They want to be there.
All right, Kochi, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Victor Boniface, we are rooting for you. We love you. Go out there, prove, the naysayers wrong, and bring glory to our great country, Nigeria. Another thing, when go bring glory to your bank account. Now, one up. New feature, when we say Bet Naija don't introduce for the market. No other person, they run them. Listen, one up. All you need to do is to just say, okay, for example, this Club World Cup where they come now, say Madrid now then go first score. Now then go first. If they score in the first 10 minutes of the game, Bet Naija go pay you. 5 minutes, 3 once they score, you don't green. Bet Naija go pay you. One up. Even if they can't do, they play draw or they lose that game, your owner say first to score. Once they score, one up, you don't win. Wait till they wait time for now. Go now. Go and after you watch, go and run it. Boom, boom, boom. Welcome to Bet Boom. On this segment, I share the most impressive Bet Boom slips. Tickets that are boomed on Bet Naija stand the chance to win up to 1 billion naira. What it be Bet Boom and how Bet Boom they work? You go just there your own. Go arrange games on top of Bet Naija. Play with money when you feel afford to lose. Bet Naija go come look say, you have been a good boy. You have been a good girl. I'm going to boom your ticket. So for example, you went play with 200 naira. We suppose win 2,000. Bet Naija go boom your ticket. And remember, ticket when them boom, based on Bet Boom, fee win up to 1 billion naira. As I dey always talk, not be cho. Bet Naija they show workings. I go give una some tickets when we say, e boom, evidence day. This person carry 1,500 naira. Stake on 5.95 odds. He supposed win 8,925 naira. Bet Naija boom that ticket from 8,925 naira to 178,500. This other person carry 35,000 naira, put on top of 5.33 odds. How much you want win with the 35,000? 205,017 naira 61 kobo. Bet Naija boom that ticket to 615,052 naira 82 kobo. Reach your kobo, Bet Naija go pay you. This person carry 50,000 naira stake on 2.50 odds to win 125,000. Imagine say you don't put 50k when you feel afford to lose and you want win 125,000. You can't check, Bet Naija can't boom your ticket. Ask me how much? 625,000 naira from 125 to 625. Now only Bet Naija they run am. This other person carry 100 naira. He just look and say, this 100 naira, make I go put them on top of the games. 529.05 odds. How much the person is supposed to win with the 100 naira? 74,066 naira 59 kobo. Imagine say you won't win 74,000 with 100 naira. Bet Naija come boom your ticket to 370,322 naira 95 kobo. Now Bet Naija they run am. Then finally, this person carry 150k, stake on top of 4.25 odds. How much you won't win? 637 naira and 65 kobo. Bet Naija boom that ticket to 1,911,195 kobo. Now only Bet Naija they run am. What you they wait for? Go, make you go play so that they go boom your ticket. Boom, 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 boom. Now Bet Naija they run am. Boom. Welcome back to the Home Talk Podcast brought to you by Bet Naija, your home of Bet Boom. We don't enter Ponta's Corner now. My girls, them go knock their suit and tie and we go discuss based on analysis, the way when we say things they happen. Let's begin first with the new manager for Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso. I want to ask, and I'm going to begin with Kochi. Do you think that he is the man that will take Real Madrid back to the top?
In my opinion, the answer is yes. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
In most cases where coaches or managers tend to have problem is knowing the culture of the club. Knowing the culture, the inner politics. And Alonso is once a player in Madrid. He's a Spanish. So, in that area, he has a very high chance of succeeding.
Okay.
First. Secondly, results. He has done absolutely well with Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Absolutely well. So, going to Madrid, if he can repeat at least 80% of what he did with Bayern Leverkusen, he will have a greater result with Madrid. Considering that he already understands the inner politics in the club. He's once a Madrid star.
Yeah.
He's a Spanish guy. There's nothing you want to tell him. So, and a great player of such magnitude. So for me, I think the answer is yes.
All right. From one manager to another manager, Alonso, you don't hear him now. We'll not discuss and go far. But something we would like more discuss now, the stats when we look at viewership for the English Premier League. Yeah. The numbers post that a lot of people are tuning off. For Sky Sports, 10%
Decline.
Decline. And people are saying, why is it that we had 2 record-breaking seasons of people tuning in to watch? This time, people are tuning away. In fact, for TNT Sports, it's even worse, 17%. Now, people just look, say, and I would like to ask, do you think it's because people are looking at the Premier League and, the way when, for example, Arsenal now, 3 seasons in a row, second, say Arsenal no go win. The thing no go even shock you.
Maybe now because of Arsenal, they know they watch it.
From December, they all look say, this Arsenal go finish second. Why are we watching? Then you have relegated Ipswich, Leicester. From December, now they signed already, they say, this one, then they go relegation. If not be Man U and Spurs, we can't even make...
You don't know, say Man U go finish 15.
We can't make and sweet. Let me begin with you, Sawa.
I think there are a couple of factors. There are people that say football has become boring. I mean, if Ronaldo de Lima would say that he would rather watch a tennis game than football these days. I mean, this is a man that you should expect that he should be living, sleeping, breathing football. He's telling you that football is becoming boring, because it's too regimented these days. It's too predictable, these days. Not the outcomes now, but the way players move. You don't go watching a football game and expecting some of those magical theatrics anymore. You understand? So if Ronaldo can say that, how much more an average fan? There are people now that are like, okay, I'll just watch highlights. Or I'll just look at the results and all of that. They can't sit and watch 2 hours of the game now. But apart from that, because we're using the English Premier League as a case study, let us not just look at probably the predictability of the league. Let us also look at the PGMOL and the way the league is being handled, the inconsistencies with the league. Do you think it's making fans to also tune off? The calls from these referees, the decisions of these referees, do you think it's also making fans to tune off? Because if I'm a fan or a supporter and then I see that these referees are making very silly calls, schoolboy errors. You bring technology into the game, and then the technology you bring is for the purpose of making the decisions better, and then the men manning these technologies are making it even worse. Like you take a decision to VAR, and then the primary job of a VAR in deciding offside is to rule line, and the VAR decision comes out and they tell you that they forgot to rule a line. Case study Arsenal Brentford. That you forgot to, that is your primary job in goal decision, in offside decision. Your primary job is to rule your line, whether HD, whatever, rule line. And you did not rule line and you disallowed the goal, and then you came out to say, oh, you forgot to rule line. Those decisions, do they make people, just log out, just lose the passion? So let's look at the PGMOL. Let's look at maybe other factors as well, that is making people. And then let's also look at the human factor, patience span. How many people now sit down? I mean, skits these days have been lowered from 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes to 30 seconds and all of that. Because of the human patience span. How many people sit down now and can comfortably sit down and watch 90 minutes or 120? And all of that, when you know that you can watch the highlights the next day. I can see whatever. You can watch even more replays. You understand? So that is it. So those are the other factors as well. And then let's also look at the economy as well, because I mean we're not just suffering the economic hardship here. I mean globally, there's an economic hardship globally. You know, are they able to renew their subscription package that will enable them watch these things?
Interesting.
You understand? So these are all of the factors. So many of them, but let me just leave it at this for now.
All right, Oganda, let me come to you and ask you something about fixtures and the congestion. A lot of the players are complaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would appear like you want our blood. We just they play. But some fans they talk say, if I earn half of what you earn, I go play 7 days a week. Do you think that the players have a right to complain, and do you think that the fans are also justified? Because this guy when come from Leverkusen now, you won't pay him over 300,000 pounds. He'll come tell you say traffic.
I get an don't buy us
congestion there for the future. You go take her serious.
Yeah. But I think the fans, I think they did very harsh, I mean, it's very easy to say from outside. You mean they give me this money, I go do it.
I go play
now until when you enter, you can't see them. I mean, you go to training every day, you travel for matches, you play week in, week out. I think these matches are becoming too much. I was just discussing with someone a few days ago, like, why this World Club Cup? Some of these guys should be on holiday. Yeah. After this, they're going to a few weeks preseason and you're starting the season again for another 9 months. I mean, since after COVID, these games are too much. I've been of the opinion that these games are too much. And the reason why I think the leagues need to find a new policy, expand the squad, allow teams to do as much as 40 players. Because the way this thing is going in Europe, the games are getting too much. Yes, we know that. I mean, when you introduce this policy, I think EPL was trying to introduce the policy. Maybe most of these clubs might not be able to afford it. Like maybe Ipswich, but allow the big teams that can afford it. And we are not saying have your 40 players of the entire big boys. I mean, it also gives room for more additional, young player academy boys. Because these games are getting too much. These guys are human. No matter how this money, at the end of the day, see what happen. Now, why is that saying they go Saudi? The money when you don't even make, you never even spend them. So this making just retire, go enjoy the money. They have the money, they're not enjoying it. So I think the games are too much. And the fans are just being like saying, the money where they collect, they must play and they must play them.
They be human beings now. Kochi, let me come to you and let's talk about the Unity Cup and the Russian friendly. It gave opportunity for us to see players. I know say Sawadinho they talk about Cyril Dessers for a very long time. We see players play and plenty Nigerians say, okay, it be like say opportunity there for some people. Coach, I'd like to ask you, as somebody who was there, you did the dressing room, you did the pitch, you see as everything take play out.
Now they select the players.
Now they select the players.
Now they select the players.
Of course. Are there certain players that, the coaching crew and those who run things in our football have identified to say, we can give these people more opportunity. That one. Then number 2, there's some players that you have said, it don't reach for you to take your leave.
To share the grace.
Yes, to come up for the squad.
You go answer that one.
Now 2 in 1. No main try. 2 in 1. You go try.
You just start from the second.
Of course. For the second, it's our national treasury. And everybody is entitled to it.
Yeah.
Everybody is entitled to it. It's for everybody. Let me tell you, if you are able to play for, assuming you play for Ikorodu City this coming season, and you score 50 goals, you're entitled to be in the Super Eagles.
Okay.
But entitlement different from say whether
you deserve to be there. You deserve to be there. It's by performance.
Okay.
It's not by trademark. It's not by tribal mark. It's not by language. It's not by
quota system.
No.
Okay.
Did you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So for anyone that will not be playing there, is their performance in their individual clubs that will determine that.
Okay.
Yes. So for the first question, the tournament has helped to see a lot of players. For example, Felix Agu did brilliantly well.
Sorry to cut short. Felix Agu, which of his foot is the strongest?
His strongest is his left foot.
Left foot.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
But like this same question you asked, I think I asked him. And he told me this is what hard work
because
does.
he plays with the right foot more in those games.
This is what hard work does. He told me, Coach, I'm not very good in my right foot. So I start training on the right foot. I start training to the you imagine somebody trained to the extent that he now gets more used
to the right
to the right
left.
foot.
Okay.
It's very rare to see someone left foot and then he very general with the right foot.
Him.
Okay.
He used both
Foot very
excellently well.
Wow.
So and another highlight is Benjamin Frederick, the young boy in the centre back. I think he did very well. The coach is extremely pleased with what he did. Desire, I think he has been in the Super Eagles before, but he showed a lot of class in the competition too.
Yeah.
Uche Crisantos. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about Sadiq. He did absolutely well, considering his exposure.
Yeah.
Considering
Where he was coming from,
where he's coming from,
Yeah.
and considering the stage he went to.
Yeah.
So for me,
It was a quantum leap.
Exactly. We must be patient sometimes with these young lads.
Okay.
You know, growth comes with a lot of things, and we should always know that at that stage, he played the 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely.
He played in the final. Whether even if it's I want to look for a lesser team, Somali.
Yes, sir.
That will play. Final is final.
Yeah.
Look at the crowd, the share up in the crowd, on the stands.
Yeah.
On that match.
Jamaica dominated.
Jamaica dominated everywhere with so much noise. So it's one of those growth that is bound to go through. So for me, as a coach, I think he did well.
All right.
Considering where he's coming from. Also, we have Igor.
Players plenty. There are like 6 players you don't mention now.
Yes, of course.
Centre
I'm
back.
still counting.
Igor Obudu did very, very well in the Unity Cup too.
Interesting.
A good
Kochi,
highlight for us.
I know there are so many players.
And lastly,
Tolu is there as well. Okay.
Good. Seven players have been at 8. Brilliant. We are excited. But let me now ask you the difficult question.
Tell me.
These players now, we know say, okay, they would go on and do well. But AFCON, when they come for December now, this AFCON for December now, this AFCON, when they come for December now,
In 5 months' time.
in 5 months' time, where do you think the Super Eagles of Nigeria would finish?
In AFCON.
And how many of those players
how many
can
of
make
these
that
players-
team?
And don't forget that the last one was Sliver, second.
Yes.
How many of those players you just mentioned can make the team?
I will start from where you come from. 5 months is a very long time in football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even a week is a very long time.
Yeah.
It could be that none of them will make the list. Yes, considering every extrinsic factor that could have happened, extrinsic
Between
or
now and
intrinsic
then.
factor between now and then.
Okay.
And it could be that all of them made it.
Valid.
So it's,
Valid.
that one is secondly
point.
for how we will do in AFCON.
Yes, this December, this AFCON.
What is
this
the
one
goal and
front.
where is the what is our realistic chance?
Yes.
No, it's not realistic. What is their own target?
What is the
plan?
goal? That's why I said what is the goal
What is
and what
the
is the
goal?
realistic
What is the discussion?
Well,
you're
what
getting
is discussion?
For look, I told you the last time you speak with me, Tobi.
Yeah.
I told you the target of my head coach, my boss, the new head coach, Eric Chair, is clear to the players. The first day he spoke with the team, it was clear.
That
First, he wants to win the World Cup.
World
He wants
Cup?
to no, look.
Okay.
Oh, you want him to say he wants to lose?
No.
allow him out now.
FIFA World Cup.
Yeah. He
Okay.
wants to win the Nations Cup.
Okay.
He wants to win the CHAN. So
Okay.
invariably, what he's
He wants to
saying
win the
is
3 titles.
he
All the
wants
3
to win-
competitions that we're going to compete with.
No. He wants to win every game
Yes.
that comes his way.
Okay.
That is what it means invariably. You understand what I'm saying?
All right.
That he wants to win every game.
Yes.
We went to the Unity Cup. He made the players understand, look, you could call it a small competition, but I just want to win.
Yes.
And
I just
he
want
said
to
that was his first trophy as a
His
coach.
first trophy as a manager, yeah.
So,
He said so.
I'm not really a good historian.
All right.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the Super Eagles of Nigeria
In advance.
in advance.
That they will.
The
they won
coach wants to
AFCON.
win everything in front of
Every
him.
game as it comes.
Nigerians,
To want is one thing. To do is another.
Nigerians, go and prepare your Ashwebi.
You don't need a drum. You don't
We
start
are
with
going
Unity
to
Cup.
celebrate. Yes, you don't win Unity Cup.
You don't start them.
We are going to celebrate in December.
I know.
In January.
I know.
Sorry, in January.
I know we don't believe so much in ourselves.
Okay.
Mostly as
Now, cause Sam now.
No, nah.
no.
No,
wait,
no,
wait.
why we
When
go
I don't
believe you
beat
now?
Zimbabwe, say more believe.
Wait
When I
now.
don't beat Rwanda woman away, say more believe. When I don't beat Lesotho, say more believe.
New era, new era,
New
new
era,
era,
Unity
Unity
Cup.
Cup.
The new change.
We don't believe so much in ourselves. And it's rather unfortunate.
Okay.
I imagine sometimes that Nigeria is the one that hosts the World Cup when Brazil massacre, when Germany massacre
Yeah, 7-1.
Brazil 7-1
And they cry for stadium.
in their home country.
Guy.
At semi-final, not just group stage,
Yeah.
semi-final.
No be small massacre.
Maybe they would have disbanded football in Nigeria. They would have disbanded football in Nigeria. After then, Brazil has won the World Cup.
No, they haven't.
Okay, but they are doing well.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes we need to check where our problem is, approach it in a deliberate manner, and be patient.
All right.
So where is our problem right now?
A lot of it.
Just give us one.
A lot of it.
Give us one that you know is standard.
A lot of it. Our system. The system.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I don't want
Let's
to put
move
you
on.
the line. Moko, just move
All right.
on.
Let's move. Now, you have won the Nigeria Professional Football League with Remo Stars. You know, you came close, second, third. Where Arsenal don't they now?
Yes.
Or your condition they a lot better because you have won. You are
After finishing 3 times.
How many Arsenal don't finish
Three
second time?
times. 3 times.
Continue finishing.
Now the 4th one, now you win. Continue.
So how difficult was it during those periods that you came close, but unfortunately did not win the league?
It was the most difficult period of my career. It's easy to become champion.
Okay.
It's easy to perform, but it is not easy to perform consistently. That's where the difficulty lies. So when we came third and I came back to the country, I was like, I can't do below performance. I can't do if I do 4th, it's a failure.
Okay.
I failed. So fortunately, we came second.
Yeah.
It is the toughest moment of my career. And we played an abridged league then.
Yeah.
Then the following season, we play full league.
Yeah.
If I come third, it's a failure.
Okay. Considering you finished second.
Considering that I finished second.
Yeah.
So, sustaining
That momentum.
was extremely difficult.
Okay.
It's like being in a balance that you need to hold both on the right and on the left to
Okay.
keep your fulcrum, to keep your balance.
Yeah.
So it was the most difficult moment. And luckily we came second again the following season. And imagine, knowing that I came second first time, second time,
Yeah.
if I come second again, it's a failure.
Okay.
It's a failure. So it's like winner take all. Winner take all. It's either I fail woefully or I get it right.
Yeah.
So where do you go from here now? Winning the league title.
CAF Champions League.
So winning
You
CAF
don't want
Champions
me to finish this.
Okay.
No,
You are done. You are done.
You're done with it.
Can go on.
So the 4th season.
No.
So Arteta should be given one more season.
Which Arteta?
The 4th season.
You are always concerned about Arteta.
Yes.
That's one
He's
of
my
the
cousin.
things. Yes. So for me, it's not about winning the league, but about sustaining the culture of the club, the framework of the club, our sustainability in the league.
Yeah.
That was the most difficult thing for me.
You think you can do it again?
And luckily, we got it right this time. And we will always get it right.
So would you consider
From now.
yourself, would you say you fail if you fail to win the league again, judging by your analysis?
Yes.
No, maybe not. Yeah. Personally,
yes.
he can be harsh on himself, but
Okay.
if he fails to win next season,
Look,
I don't
my
think
friend,
so.
So
my
meaning,
friend,
judging on that-
personally,
judging on that analysis,
if you
yeah.
know me,
Yeah.
if you know me,
Yeah.
you will know how much I beat myself.
Yeah, I know. I see you, and
need
Nike to beat yourself sometimes.
you don't need to press me. You don't need to, because I press myself. I am the presser.
But
of
you can't
myself.
win the league
I
every
press
season.
it.
No,
It's almost impossible.
But I think you'll do it
is
again
possible
for next season. I think
We
you
go
will
stop
do it
them.
again.
But
the question
okay, you
is,
stop
the
it.
question
Yes,
is, the question is it possible?
Yeah, it is possible.
Yes,
It's possible.
If Madrid will win Champions League
Three times.
five times in a
Three times.
three times in a row.
Yeah.
All right.
So
He can do it.
it's possible.
No, before you go, you are the only manager that played, maybe not the only manager, or I can also say the only manager that played this 3-5-1, 3-man at the back in the MPFL. I am one of your top critics on that.
I know.
So, I mean, how were you able to, insist on this system until the system brought the league title? Because I know you faced a lot of difficulties, criticism.
As much as I have tried to convince you so many times,
Yeah, on the
and
three- I'm not a fan of the 3-man at the back.
understand,
Now, when me
I
and Amorim
understand.
be fighting today.
But the thing is, you should know, Remo Stars is an institution.
Yeah.
It's not about an individual.
Yeah.
And I need to think as such. Okay, I'll tell you why I come to 3-5-2. Basically, I'm 4-3-3 manager.
Yeah. You started the 3-5-2 when you started the 3-5-2, you came back from Portugal.
Yes.
Okay.
In my NNL days.
Yeah.
4-3-3. In the game, dynamism, I go to 3-5-2 years in the game. I have so many young lads at the back
Okay.
that cost me the league in the first year. School error. Ahmed Akinyele, Stanley, Induka Jr. just growing up too. And I think upon myself, if I have 3 of them there, the mistake will be lesser compared to having 2 young ones.
Okay.
As you elderly people in Yoruba language you say, 2 good heads. It's better than 1.
But then at 3.
So if in the first season we considered a lot of goals.
Yeah.
In the first season we considered a lot of goals. I try to look of what is the solution. The next season I go back to 3 back so that I can have, I'm sure of having more numbers during transition when we lose the ball. When we lose the ball in the first season, it's almost the opponent and the goalkeeper most time.
Okay.
Because of their inexperience. Yes, you agree with me, year in, year out, they grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which they have grown up to now. Now it is easy for me to go back with 4-3-3. Ahmed Akinyele is grown.
You want to go back?
It is easy for me. That's what I said.
Okay.
But don't forget, this is a system I have built over the years, and it has almost become part of me. And I don't know what Arsenal is planning about their formation.
No, don't worry.
I'm only partner.
All right.
Three man at the back.
So it's good you have spoken about, your plans for Remo and what you hope to achieve. And we know that when you win the league, you fly the flag of our country at, Africa's elite club competition, the CAF Champions League. But since Enyimba, made us proud, it can't be like say our teams not really understand. Just get to the money spinning stage and come back home. So what do you think that Nigerian teams need to do differently to be able to compete at that level and also win?
Media is doing a very great job. That was why we are having this recognition we're having recently. Kudos to our medias. I must be sincere with you. It's not because I am with them. It's one of my biggest problems. But they are doing an extremely great job. But if the market we want to sell that is not refined, we are deceiving ourselves. We are deceiving ourselves. We need to come in with good infrastructure, security measures during games. These officiating officials are human. Some of them have children and wives at home, and they want to go to a game and they know they are not secured. They want to save their life. Some of them are being diplomatic where they are supposed to make some decisions. As much as you agree with me, officiating has improved. Because we also improve our security level to some reasonable extent. Lastly, it's our coaching education. How much have we done to improve our coaching education? We want good players without being taught. You want them to bring it from heaven? No. Somebody need to teach them. And not just somebody. We need pool of educated coaches.
Okay.
Which our system
from the grassroots
that will produce
all the way to
players
the top.
all the way to the top. So that if I am signing a player to Remo from your boys club in Lagos, he understands football knowledge, football IQ.
Yeah.
The only problem is this how to fall into my system
The
of
Remo
play.
way. Okay, how to play the Remo. I think, okay,
but
go on.
If in Nigeria today, if you sign a player from Kano, number 1, language barrier, you have problem. Number 2, is not well taught. You need to start again. You need to stay about 3-4 years. That is why, I'm not sorry to say it, it's the reason why when our players travel to abroad, adaptation takes about 3-4 years before they adapt. Yes. Whereas we can do the adaptation here if we focus more on our coaching education.
Yeah.
I am in Portugal, like I told you. A 23-year-old boy already have UEFA Pro license. Okay. A 25-year-old boy already have UEFA Pro license. Coaching the under-7 in his community. Coaching the under-10 in his community. It's easy. Do we have same here? No. The answer is no.
Do they even make acquiring the license easy?
It's not easy.
They don't make it.
We want the players to do well. Everything end up coming back to the coach. I want to tell you, let me tell you the secret of Remo today. I still have 60% of my youth team players in our first team.
Wow, 60%?
From our under 15. Ahmed is from my under 15. Lekon Adedayo, the best player this season, is from my under 15. Induka Junior, the captain of the team, is from my under 17. Sadiq, that played the Super Eagle, is from my under 17. They already have football knowledge for years.
And they have your philosophy.
Did it take them time before they adapt to? Yes, when they came, it took them time. This was why we were talking about this 3-5-2 system.
I think one thing we did well this season.
Our coaching education should be paid attention to.
Yeah.
When we pay attention to it, we now give ourselves time to make it materialize. Nigeria, this is the problem. We talk about coaching education now. We start the coaching education this year. We want the result next year. It's impossible. It's not a rocket science. Look, I'm not saying this to flatter you, Tobi. Look at what Ikorodu did this season. I'm going to tell you. The coach of Ikorodu is from my school of thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, he's from my school of thought. That was why. Look at the number of young players they are having. If teams go to play them, they complain of they run a lot. They run a lot. How many teams can afford to play young boys? There was a time this Ikorodu travel. Let me tell you where Ikorodu lost the league. When they travel for 2 weeks, not coming back home, from one match to the other.
Yeah, we lost Continental.
Because they are kids. They are young. They have learned from that. So the same thing goes to us in Nigeria. Secondly, our payment structure. The highest paid player in Remo, maybe 600,000 naira. And you want to go and play against another league that is receiving £15,000, $15,000, $20,000. So, in all, there is no excuse for failure. That is the truth. This is one of my own principles. But there is always a solution to every problem. We need to identify these problems and approach them patiently.
Okay, but if I'm to touch on some of the things you said, because the question is about why we don't perform at the continental stage. You understand? But first of all, I want to say one thing that we did right first this time around is the calendar. This time around, the calendar ran from when other teams
the right time
and ended the right time.
It aligned with others
for the first time in a very long while. So it means while other teams are on holiday, the players in the MPFL are on holiday. When they are coming back for preseason, when these preliminaries will be about to get on, these teams Nigerian teams are also coming back for preliminaries, and then they will start their training and all of that, and hopefully it will work. But why I do not agree about all of some other things like payment and the rest of them. Enyimba won the league in 2000 and 2001. How much were they earning? Yes, they were the highest paid in the country at the time, considering the fact that OUK was splashing money.
How much is dollar to naira then? How much is dollar to naira
then? Well,
then?
That's significant.
Now, let me tell you.
Yes.
Our best players.
Yeah.
Our best players.
Yeah.
In Nigeria doesn't spend extra 1 month. And you want to compete. Our best players. Immediately after
extra 1 month or what?
Before they travel out.
Okay.
Team from Sudan come to buy them. Sudan.
Of course. Tanzania.
Because of the currency exchange.
Yeah.
After Chan, we lost over 5 players.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. The same thing in Remo. If Ikorodu can bear me witness, they are center back left. He's already out of the country now.
Yeah, Leo is out.
Yeah.
Your best GM left after Chan qualified.
I get all of these factors. No, I get all of these factors. I get all of these factors.
Sorry, these factors are very key.
Yeah.
Those are the reasons why.
Jide was the most important. Plays a pivotal role in my philosophy. Do you know? We would have lost the league if I had not had a backup plan. Jide plays a pivotal role in my philosophy. He left
for Sudan.
So why can't we have rules in place that will say, okay, transfer window don't close, you don't close.
No. Sawa. To be honest, coach will be diplomatic, which is very important. And most of this thing he has said is on the administrators. And everything we always keep saying about the MPFL. We will not compete on the continent if we don't solve these problems. And these problems should be solved by the administrators.
All right.
You can't have a policy to stop a player to go and earn $1,000.
All right, Kochi, thank you very much for sharing all of this.
Okay.
I hope that our administrators are listening and they will take heed and do the needful. Because, come on.
Since 2004. It's crazy.
Come on. Yeah. We be giant of Africa. We get quality. Our league, we suppose they are.
Giant for mouth.
No, it go happen. It go happen. Let's do the right
Jabo is
things.
here. Jabo is here.
Jabo is here. Let's do the right things. So remember, 1 up with Bet Naija. If you stake, once the team where you carry 1 up, then score. If na them first score, Bet Naija go pay you. Don't wait. Just go and boom, boom, boom. Welcome to the Hot Tip segment. I would run through some very interesting games to look forward to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Club World Cup. You know you dey do am now. Go Bet Naija, run am as you dey enjoy, make you dey win. There's Bayern Munich against Boca Juniors. There's PSG, Botafogo. There's Flamingo against Chelsea. Inter will play host to Urawa Red Diamonds. Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa against Borussia Dortmund. There is Juventus against Wydad Casablanca. And you get one game when plenty people they look say these people they go to collect. It is Real Madrid against Pachuca. Real Madrid Pachuca. Those people they go to patch them. Waiting Madrid go use you now I see. But you know what they do now. Go Bet Naija, just go arrange them.
Get explosive odds at random. Introducing Bet Boom. Get massive odds on any sports bet, however you play. Singles, multiples, in play. Zoom. It's time to boom your bet. Available now, only on Bet Naija.
So this is Sure Banker, where my senior men them go just put head together, make we just select games. Remember, now on top of Bet Naija, you go run am and it go sweet you. Before we go just dey stress ourselves, but Bet Naija don't talk say they don't make things easy because features dey. So we go just give una games. You too, if you wear recommended glass, reason am, think am, then run am the way you want to take run am. So there is PSG against Botafogo.
PSG straight win.
PSG straight win.
Over 1.5 even.
PSG straight win. Modu straight win.
Straight
to
win.
be safe. Benfica versus Auckland. Those part-time players.
Over 3.5.
For 3.5.
Win and over.
Or Benfica to win and over 1.5.
1.5. The odds will be. The odds not go even day.
Now, shall we this time?
1.5. No,
Okay, so win and over
Auckland
3.5.
Over 3.5.
Auckland win
Auckland
chop
win 10 for Bayern hand.
Flamingo versus Chelsea.
Both teams to score.
Ah,
You do over 1.5.
Over
I think both
1.5.
teams to score. But
Over
over 1.5.
1.5.
over 1.5. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Bayern Munich versus Boca Juniors.
Nasi goes market.
Safe one.
Over
will be,
2.5.
Maybe over 2.5.
Over 2.5. All
But
right.
Boca Juniors, now crazy South American side. Though.
So 2-1.
Okay, over
Yeah.
2.5 we go.
Then there's Real Madrid versus Pachuca.
Can we do over 10.5?
Anything happen.
That one I'm Madrid to win like over
So
2.5
Madrid to
or
win
something.
and
Madrid to
over
win
3.
over 3.5.
Over
3.5.
Yeah.
There's Inter versus Urawa Red Diamonds. Inter
Asian guys.
Inter to win.
Inter to win straight.
Then finally,
Over 2.5.
Mamelodi Sundowns versus Borussia Dortmund.
That's a game.
Over 1.5.
That's the game.
Over
That's the
1.5.
game. That game that could end goalless.
No, they go score.
That
I don't
game-
say
Okay,
Mamelodi
You think that
Sundowns go
Miami
score.
and Inter?
Borussia
I know
Dortmund is
Borussia
trying to tinker something in the midfield. They just collect Jobe Bellingham and it may not work against Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns have been together and Mamelodi Sundowns might want to play safe. You understand? I don't think that game will give us up to 3 goals if you're doing over 2.5.
Over
You know,
1.5.
I don't
Over
even think we'll give up
1.5.
to 2 goals.
You too.
Mamelodi Sundowns could just steal that game 1-0.
Goals go come.
No,
Okay.
Bayern
Alright,
Leverkusen go score.
Rasi.
Borussia
Sorry,
Dortmund.
Dortmund go score.
All right, let's go for 1.5.
Is he a
But
joke
if you
to
ask
you?
me safe, I think I would do Mamelodi Sundowns win or draw.
That's not even safe. How is that safe?
So, Borussia Dortmund win or draw.
He's
but-
not also safe.
Don't worry. Let's leave it at that.
Over 1.5. Oh yeah, now we go paste the odds for the screen. Just go on top of Bet
Now all
Naija,
these are
go
over
run am.
3.5 now.
Nah,
All these are over 3.5.
Real
All
Madrid,
those things.
Pachuca. Urawa Reds. I mean, Auckland.
Oh, yeah, they go do.
You know what it means? A person come
after that 10-0.
after 10-0.
No, let's Super Eagles. Now if you do that thing.
Do
yes,
it.
now what Confederations Cup? What be their name? Is it Trinidad and Tobago? I been who? No, what be that team where everything where they our team? Spain.
All
of them.
South Tome.
No be South Tome.
No,
No be South
Tome.
Tome.
World Cup.
World
worry.
Cup. World FIFA
This is
Confederations
the
Cup.
new
Everybody
Eagles.
they be there 9-0.
Don't worry.
This one Nigeria go.
This is the new Eagles under Eric Shell.
Eric Shell,
Don't worry,
Shell.
you go see am.
Everything go shell.
Everything go gel. Baba and Moshe.
Whoa.
And Ijabo
Oh my
come there.
God.
Ijabo. Oh my God. Oh yeah now. Welcome to the Prediction Guru segment where all you need to do is to predict correctly the outcome of 3 games. This one means say, I go give you 3 games and you go tell me whether the games go end in draw, which team go win and which team go lose. It is that simple. Before, now 5 games I dey give. I'll come tell you, say, may you tell me the correct score line. Bet Naija say husband material. Don't be stressing my people. I want them to win. So what did I go do now? I say, I go give you 3 games. From the 3 games what I will give you, you go tell me which game go end in draw, which team go win, and which team go lose. As you they give me that information, drop your ID straight. Bet Naija go credit you immediately. Make I give you now the 3 games. Flamingo versus Chelsea. Real Madrid versus Pachuca. Mamelodi Sundowns versus Borussia Dortmund. These 3. Flamingo versus Chelsea. Real Madrid versus Pachuca. Mamelodi Sundowns versus Borussia Dortmund. Tell me which team go win, which team go lose, and which game go end for draw. Boom, 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 boom. I bet Nigeria dey run am. I go thank this my ogbonge visitors wey join me. Special thanks to the
Coach Ijabol himself.
wait, calm down. The champion.
Yes.
Thank you.
Current champion of the Nigerian Professional Football League
And Unity Cup champion.
and Unity Cup champion.
Thank you.
Coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
AFCON champion incoming.
AFCON assistant coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
League champion where Arteta never.
Yes, I mean when they call people wey don't win league, if they count teams, if they even count teams wey don't play final in the last 5 years, and teams wey don't win league,
Yes.
some people club no go enter.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations, Coachy.
Thank you.
Sawadinho, I wish you all the best.
No, not shake me.
We go again.
Arsenal win at least 2 trophies.
Yes, next season.
No
At
problem.
least 2. Don't be me and Coach don't talk.
No problem.
No, you don't give me tips.
You
So
wish,
give me Arteta.
you wish to
We'll
be
quote
precise. You wish to be precise.
Ask now. The trophies will win. The Premier League won.
Emirates Cup.
Premier League
Emirates Cup.
No, that one no follow.
All
Premier
right.
League won.
So remember, you can subscribe on YouTube at Bet Naija. I beg, I take go beg una. We don't amass number when we say even we dey impressed, we dey shocked. Now because of una, we appreciate
me myself
you.
are shocked.
Even me myself are shocked. So please continue and remember, you can make suggestions. If we use your suggestions on the show, you stand the chance to win fantastic prizes. Now Bet Naija, everybody is a winner with Bet Naija. No, boom. Boom.
You know, thank Ogala.
Boom. I don't thank Ogala now. No, nasty.
We did together.
We did together.
Congratulations on losing Austin.
100 million.
Bye bye, yo.
100 million.